right, so it's a good evening to us all. Youth empowerment in the digital space, and this program is widely organized by the Gasti Media. Gasti Media is a multidimensional and a multi-tax media company registered and recognized under the law of Ghana. In fact, we are well recognized. We undertake series of services such as video coverage, live production, graphic designs, brand management, online advertisement, content creation, publicity, and news publication. This is what Gasti Media do. And for that, and as part of our service, we are giving our participants an amazing offer on how to navigate the social media and make the best out of it. Now, this program is also widely and proudly partnered by Ameyaw Debrah TV, Kobby Kyei News, the Campus GH, Luz Ghana TV, Dangel Prime TV, and sponsored by the Gasti Media and National Youth Authority. That is so amazing. Thank you so much. And we are going to have an amazing session with most prominent bloggers in Ghana. In fact, it's going to be so interactive, educative, and informative as well. Thank you so much for joining us, wherever you are with us here. At this very point, my name is Ebuakwa Stephen, and I'm going to be the host for tonight. With me is Joseph. He is my co-host this evening. Thank you so much for joining. That is so amazing. We have wonderful people from wonderful locations, and we are all here as brothers and sisters to learn and also to tap into each other's knowledge base and skill sets. Our guest speakers are ready to share with us some wonderful topics and things that we have to know about social media and how to navigate through. All right. So it is an honor to introduce to you our first guest speaker tonight. And this young man is named Mr. Cranton Augustus Kyei, shortly known as Kobby Kyei. Okay, he is a proud and professional freelance journalist and an ethical blogger. Mr. Kobby is a product of the University of Education, Winneba. His professional and ethical work has earned him a lot of recognitions and awards. An online media personality by National Communication Blogger of the year 2022. Kobby Kyei has been awarded as a Tertiary Star Role Model of the Year by the Ghana Tertiary Awards. And finally, he has been awarded as the Best Blogger of the year 2021 by the Ghana Web Excellence Award. These and many more describe our first and our proud guest speaker for tonight. Kobby Kyei, you could reach KobbyKyeiNews.com. All right, to this wonderful program.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Kobby Kyei, we can hear you right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate the introduction. It's by God's grace. Very good evening to everyone who has tuned in, joining from all walks of life. They say knowledge is very powerful. And so if you had the opportunity to join today or this evening to listen to our conversation or whatever thing you're going to say today, it will go a long way to help you. So I want to say I appreciate everyone who has joined today, and I believe that by the end of the conversation, we are all going to learn a thing or two. So thank you so much for having me.
All right, but notwithstanding, before we take over, I would love to introduce to our amazing participants our second speaker, so that they will know the wonderful people we have in our hood before you waste the ground for us. Okay, it is a very great honor to introduce our second speaker for tonight. Okay, and he is in the person of Ameyaw Debrah. Okay, so Mr. Debrah is a celebrity blogger, a freelance journalist and a reporter with over 14 years of experience. He is the owner of Ameyaw Debrah's Media. Mr. Debrah's hard work and dedication has earned him recognition both locally and internationally. His media house was nominated as Best Online Media in 2012. He also won the Best Blogger in Ghana in 2013. While in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, he was adjourned the Best Publishing Student. That is so amazing. So in fact, my participant and also wonderful audience tonight, we're going to have, and we have the best people you could all hear from and learn tap into their knowledge base and skill set. It is an honor to introduce to you Ameyaw Debrah. Debrah, if you are in the wood, could you please leave a voice so our audience would appreciate your presence? You could.
All right, thank you very much. I'm happy to be able to join this discussion, and I hope that we are able to sort of help you guys, everybody who is listening, to learn a thing or two, like Kobby said. So I'm looking forward to the discussion. I'm not so sure yet how the format will be like, but I'm sure as and when we move, we will get into the groove of things and make it work. So thanks for joining. I hope we are able to impact in various ways. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Debrah. That is so amazing and a top-notch intro from your end. We really appreciate your voice and the wonderful time spent to share with us your knowledge base and also your skill set. We really appreciate. So at this very point, we're going to start with our first speaker, Mr. Kobby Kyei. So Kobby Kyei, please, the microphone is yours. At this point, I would love you to just tell us in a minute how your journey as a blogger has been.
All right. Again, thank you, and I want to say big shout out to my senior colleague, Ameyaw Debrah. Let me use this opportunity to say God bless him so much for giving all of us the opportunity to enter into this profession called blogging. So God bless you so much, Ameyaw. Like you read from my profile, I mean, from University of Education, I read music education. So professionally, I'm a music teacher. So right after university, like any other or every other Ghanaian university graduates, I was still trying to figure out what I would do. So 2017, I remember taking the bold decision to do blogging because I had the feedback from my peers and my friends, classmates, family, telling me that I speak well, I write well, and I have knowledge when it comes to music. So why don't I go into entertainment blogging and talk about music and use my platform? And I also was a Sarkodie fan, and so I was able to accumulate a lot of numbers on social media. And so I remember that very first day that I visited Ameyaw Debrah that I wanted to be a blogger. He said, "Oh, Kobby, I mean, you're doing good already. I've seen you post stuff about SAC." And so he even thought that I was actually on the blogging journey, but I had no idea what blogging was all about. So it was that moment that I took a decision that I really want to take it as a profession or as a career. So 2017, I mean, you have to get a website. Professionally, you have to get a website running so that you can share your opinion as a blogger and put on news updates so that people can read, or all walks of life, they can reach you. But I didn't have a website back then. So what I did was to use my social media platform to be reporting news, just like the CNN updates. I'll use a picture. So let's say if Ameyaw Debrah has won an award, I'll use Ameyaw Debrah's picture and I'll just write a caption. That's it. So I ran that for like a year. Wow. Until when I got my website ready, and I started putting out information out there. So professionally, I've been blogging for 5 years. Just next month will be exactly 5 years that I started blogging, and the rest has been history. So
but Kobby, let me get this right. Kobby, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, that is perfect. Before meeting Ameyaw within 2017, there, what was your intention or your motivation for being in the digital space?
Okay, so when I was growing up, I had two passions. So apart from the music, which I play music instruments, I barely wanted to go to GIJ.
Okay.
And I remember vividly after closing from school every day when I was in junior high school, I listened to Abeku Santana. Back then, he was working at Adom FM. If you Debrah,
I see.
Santana. So, and I was I was always buying Junior Graphic. I don't know whether you remember Junior Graphic.
Very, very
I was
well.
always buying Junior Graphic because I wanted to read, because I had that media thing in me.
Wow.
So when I finished senior high school, I bought two forms. I bought GIJ and I bought Winneba. So Winneba came first, so I left GIJ. But I still had that thing in me. I had that hunger that I really wanted to be into the media.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how come that I've been able to do this at ease, because I was reading a lot about journalism and how to put out stories, how to, combine the work ethics. So a lot of people actually, even till date, they ask me whether I attended GIJ or I have a journalism background. I feel that apart from the formal education, inwardly, I was just born to do this media thing.
Wow, that is so amazing, Kobby. That is very, very inspiring. And I'm sure participants here are tapping into it and getting inspired. All right. But before then, I would love to take a few words from Ameyaw, how your journey has been.
Hello.
Hi, I mean, we can hear you.
Yes. So do you want me to say something specifically?
Oh, not really. Your journey in the digital space, how you came.
Oh, okay.
The far.
Okay. For me, I think it started right after KNUST in 2005. I started quietly. While I was in school, I was quite a digital person. And so when I left, I started more consuming it from the point of social media and interaction with different people. So as part of my prize from KNUST, I had the opportunity to do my national service with Ovation. So it was at Ovation that I started writing, interviewing people, and getting published. So one thing led to the other. I joined a platform in Netherlands where they give journalists the opportunity to create content with Nokia phones. And I started doing that project, and I had the opportunity to go to South Africa to go and speak about that project. So when I was in South Africa, that was at the time when the digital space was getting a little bit more defined. Bloggers were emerging. So I came back to Ghana with examples of how different people had done different things within the digital space. And blogging stuck out to me, or stuck out for me. And so when I got back to Ghana, I started already a Blogspot account. So now I decided to do it more intentionally, and it has grown over the years to where we are today. So it's been an interesting journey. A little under 15 years, but it's been exciting. So that's what
that's amazing. So yeah, I want to know, you see, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with just a step, okay? But then as you progresses along the ladder of the digital space, I know at a point you feel like, giving up, you feel like, you are not meeting expectation. Has there been any experience, and how did you overcome such, before we really dive into the presentation for tonight?
Okay, so I mean, for me, in the beginning, the challenge was how to make money, because I've been quite lucky along the journey. Opportunities came my way, and so after working with the foundation in Netherlands, I also worked with Ghana Web, and so I was always getting some sort of salary. But the owner of Ghana Web, when he came to Ghana and heard that my website was also very buzzing, everywhere he went, he was hearing my name. Now started raising issues of conflict of interest, and so it resulted in me leaving Ghana Web. And when I was leaving, the difficulty now was, how do I make money? Because yes, I started building a platform that was popular, but it wasn't generating any sensible kind of revenue. So I had to go through those sort of growing things. And I think it wasn't just all my doing. It also, in the beginning, the digital space was not just structured enough to monetize. So we had to stick with the journey, and up until the point where now opportunities came, businesses were doing engagement with us in the space. So yes, but I think the challenge when they came especially when I found out that I had to now find ways to make my money, I decided to come up with ways that people I had worked with in the past for free now wouldn't mind paying a token for the services that I was providing. And so, to a large extent, that was how I was able to overcome it. But like you can imagine, it wasn't easy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Deborah. That is so amazing. And we are really, really learning a lot from your experience. And it's been so educative. We expect more to be shared with us. So, Kobby, Deborah really has a limited time. And for that matter, we would love to start with Ameyaw so that you would finish up with us. You add some few touches and also make it so sweet and spicy for us. So, Deborah, your content for tonight is going to be on monetization. Okay, so content monetization. What is content monetization? What is your take on this topic?
Okay, so I would say there are a number of ways now that we can monetize our content. So,
but
the traditional way, if you want to,
before then, Deborah, sorry, before then, monetization in a layman's understanding, what is it? What is monetization?
Okay, so monetization basically is your ability to turn something into money.
Perfect.
And yes, it's in a number of ways. So you realize that there are some platforms that you can join, and you're able to make money off of your content. So, for instance, if you're a YouTube creator, the program allows you to join, and at some point they serve advertising on your video, and based on the engagement of the viewers with your content and advertising, you get paid a certain amount. If you have a website, for instance, you can also monetize the website by putting the adverts from platforms such as Google Ads, or perhaps through your own.
But we would come more into that, how to really generate money from each and every social media handle and how we could go about it. Okay, so now we've gotten to understand that content monetization is just a matter of you being able to generate money out of a content you create in a digital space, right?
Yes.
That is so perfect. All right, so Deborah, fast forward, how do you see content monetization? Is it something which is worth it, or something you would have, or you would need some level of experience to do that? Can any other person venture into content monetization or make money out of content on social media platform?
Yes, I don't think it requires so much skill. It requires an ability to create content that resonates with people, and now that's your ability to turn that attention and everything into making money. So I think first your ability to build the audience for your content is important, and then based on that audience you are building, now you can strategize and find ways to make money off of that.
I mean, at this very point, I'm going to leave the microphone for you, okay, to walk us through how to monetize content in the digital space. This is a free flow.
Okay, so maybe I can limit it to can I limit it to say YouTube?
That is perfect. We would appreciate that.
So if you're a YouTube creator, you must first create content that people start to resonate with, and you build a community of people who are watching your content regularly. And then there are some thresholds that you must meet before now you qualify to officially join the YouTube partner program. So partner program, well, I think you need a certain number of subscribers, you need a certain number of watch time, and then once you meet these key indicators, then they allow you to monetize your content. So basically, once you put your content there, when people come and watch this content, and they are Google will serve adverts on the videos. So based on the number of people who watch and interact with the adverts, then there's a way they put things together, these metrics together, and then they reward you at the end of the month. The program also allows you to do other forms of marketing. Like people are able to sell merchandises. But sometimes that culture is not so strong in our part of Ghana. So a lot of people just simply rely on the number of people who are watching the videos, and then they make money. Another way to make money from your content is, for instance, if you build that audience and it speaks to specific or certain businesses, you are now even able to create specific content that promote these businesses. So, for instance, if you are into lifestyle, etc., you can now create content about the hotel. You go and stay there. You share your experience, and it's either paid for or in one way or the other. So you are making some monetary gains also from there. And to a large extent, this thing also works based on how perhaps you're good at marketing yourself to businesses, or like I do, I leave it to chance, and then I do the work, and then the businesses see it, and then they come and want to work with you. So this is another way to monetize your content online. And if you have a website like myself, you have the opportunity to also create and serve Google adverts on that, and then based on your traffic and all of that, you also earn revenue. And again, even on your website, you can do direct advertising. So you have rate card and say that if you want this kind of advert on my space, this is how much I charge over a period. And there's also sponsored content. So for instance, if again the hotel wants to promote themselves, you can write about the hotel, you charge them for that, and things like that. So I think I'll probably leave Kobby to talk about other ways of making money on the platform.
Well, so Deborah, I really appreciate your points. It is very, very fair and educative. I want to understand that before you can really move to that space where you would be well known within the digital space, the first thing to do, per my understanding, is you building a bunch of audience or a basket of audience, you having the number of followers or subscribers. Is that the case?
Yes, but it's not also a certain number. It's not, you don't need a lot of following. You must have a critical audience. So even if it's 1,000, but it's engaging and you are speaking to people, then we know that you are onto something. Perhaps your value, the value you put on this would go higher than somebody who will be lesser than somebody who has a bigger audience. But your ability to monetize essentially should start from the fact that you're creating or you're engaging a community that you can monetize in the future. So the level of monetization would now depend on the other stuff, as in how many people are really engaging. But at least there's some minimum way make some money.
That is great. That is great. That is great. So, Ameyaw, in your own view, fairly and averagely, how much do you think a YouTuber earns every month?
Well, so that is not so easy to answer because a lot of things come into play. For instance, where the people who are watching your content are coming from. So, for instance, so if people watch, if 100,000 people watch a video and they are all from Ghana, probably what sometimes what 1,000 people from US watch your content and will generate for you in terms of revenue is even higher than the 20 from Ghana. So different metrics matter. But also I think creators should not think so much about money. They should think more about the content and finding and letting people resonate with the content, and then the content now makes you money. But if you put the money so much in your mind, it may affect the quality of what you really are doing.
I get it. So and the level content you've been putting on our WhatsApp statuses that do not really sell us that much, or let's say that we would need to sell ourselves in the digital space, we can really channel it to these amazing platforms like the YouTube, like the Facebook and other stuff, so that we could really get experience there and also increase our network big.
I mean, even the WhatsApp status, all of that is it's numbers and how it all depends on how you turn it around. So, for instance, because people are even able to monetize the people they have in their email list or their mailing list, because at the end of the day, it's numbers. And if you say you have an email of 1,000 people, you should be able to say that, if I charge you 100 cedis and I send an email to all of these people, they will get your message. So you put a value to that audience you have.